Hey everybody, it's Matthew Whitaker with GK Houses, and I just wanted to give you a PPP update. So we just got our money in for the PPP loan, and I actually just got off the phone with my accountant and wanted to kind of give some help to everybody who's out there that's about to start getting their money and give you what I think is going to be some best practices. Now, keep in mind, I am not an accountant. I was a C+ accounting student, so this is not some sort of me giving you accounting law. You definitely need to check it out with your accountant, but these are some things that I've learned. Number one, I think it's probably, you're not required to, it doesn't sound like you're required to, but I think it's important that you set up separate account for this money. Put it in a different account, keep it completely separate. Keep in mind, you don't have to not commingle it, but it may make sense because you're having to account for this money, not to commingle it with your normal kind of operations account. So get a separate account for this money. The second thing is you're going to set it up as a loan on your balance sheet because that's what it is. It's a loan when it first comes to you. So set it up on your balance sheet as a loan, just like if you took a loan out from the bank, because essentially that's what it is until it converts to be forgiven, hopefully. The third thing is transfer and or pay only when you're paying it. And we are going to use the accrual basis. In other words, I got my money today, which is on a Monday. We actually signed the note on Friday. So I understand that this goes from the time you sign the note. So I signed it on Friday. So I'm going to pay for everything from Friday forward, meaning rent, utilities, and especially payroll. And keep in mind, you need to use 75% or more of this on payroll. So my payroll from Friday forward is going to be paid using this money, and but I'm not going to pay that until sometime in the future. So I'm not going to use it, even though I had a payroll run on Friday. I'm not going to use that money because that was for time before that. I'm not going to use that money until 2 weeks from now when we run another payroll. And then I'll prorate it based on the amount of payroll I use. The next thing is when you're running payroll, be careful of those people that make more than $100,000. If you have those people, it's believed that you're only going to be able to use that $100,000 as a makeup here too. So because it was accounted for on the front end, you want to make sure you're only pulling $100,000 in annual income on a weekly or bi-monthly basis when you're running your payroll. So if somebody makes $125,000, you want to pretend like they're only making $100,000 to account for this. So you're only pulling $100,000 worth of annual income out of the money, and you're going to have to pay the other $25,000 with your normal operating income. The next thing I would say is keep a spreadsheet. We're going to keep a very detailed spreadsheet of where every dollar went. I think it's just going to make it easy so that we can send a summary to our bank when we try to get this thing forgiven in 8 weeks. And then the last thing is make sure you're keeping invoices. I know that's kind of a dumb thing to say, but make sure that you're keeping invoices for all these things that you're spending money on, keeping your payroll information. Make sure that you can tie all these numbers in your spreadsheet you're going to create to an actual document so that you've got it all. You can hand it into your bank and get this thing forgiven. So that's it. I'm Matthew Whitaker. Hope this was helpful. Again, I'm not an accountant. I'm not even a great accounting student, but I'm a small business owner, probably just like you, and I hope this is helpful. See ya. Bye.